Time for the main event!
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you like the content, hit the subscribe button, leave a like down below. So I've been seeing around the internet and X and social media that there's a lot of people that are worried or concerned or even boycotting WWE 2K26. Now it got me thinking, like, I do have some concerns myself, and we're going to go over that in here a second. And when we're done with that, we'll go over and look at what everybody else is freaking out about. But I don't know what's going on. Like, we're getting pretty close to the launch of this game, and there's a ton of stuff that they still haven't shown us. Now, I know they kind of do this every year where they build up the momentum all the way up until launch, but there's so much stuff to show. I feel like they could show something off every single day and still have plenty to talk about. Maybe they're scared this year, and that seems like a red flag to me. I don't know. I'm still going to get the game. I'm still really excited. But without further ado, here are the 7 things that have me concerned until we learn more. Let's get to this list. Number 7. Create an Arena got left behind with no new updates. Now, we've seen the new interactive entrances they have now, where you can set off your own pyro, you could do a face animation or a heel animation, like a taunt, I should say. That sounds really cool. Maybe that made it to where the Create an Arena has more flexibility to be customized, and you maybe can move the arena parts around more. Maybe you can do more with it. Maybe they actually fixed it up, but they haven't really talked about it yet. So I'm a little worried that the Create an Arena, much like 2K23, 2K24, and 2K25, that kind of lost features, or just the features just don't work anymore, and got worse every single year. Like in 2K25, I've had to reset the logos and everything on my arena like 5 times, and you can't take images and spread them out across the entire barricade anymore. Last time I tried to do it, it would only spread it to like a little section, and it wouldn't let me do the other sections. So the whole interface and everything just needs a massive overhaul. And since they're doing all this other stuff this year, I have a feeling that it got left behind. And if that's the case, that's going to suck, because if we have the exact same creation tools for the Create an Arena this year, yeah, I probably won't even bother making an arena this year. I'll probably just use the in-game arenas, because that's how bad it's gotten for me personally. I don't know about you guys, but I see all these crazy arenas made online. I don't know how you guys do it other than modding the arenas into the game. But as far as like the base functionality of it needs a massive overhaul. And I hope, if not this year, I really hope next year they focus on the Create an Arena massively, because it needs to be gutted and redone from the ground up, because it's not good. Number 6. Creation parts in the Ringside Pass or locked to the island shops still won't be customizable. If you're unfamiliar, in WWE 2K25, all those shops with all those cool new creation parts, you couldn't change the color, you couldn't add logos, you couldn't do anything with it. You could just apply it to your character, and that was it. If they do that again in 2K26, then that pretty much means all the creation parts that are locked to the Ringside Pass or locked in the store on the island will be useless to me personally, because what's the point? Like, that's the major thing that made me stop playing the island. In fact, I was playing it the other day because I had no idea how far I was, and I had just completed chapter 1. That's how far behind I am on the island. And after I found out that's how far behind I am, I just, like, you know what, screw it. I'm not gonna I thought maybe I was in chapter 3 or something. Nah, I wasn't even done with chapter 1. So that's how far behind I was on the island, and that's how turned off I got on the creation parts being not only cost a bunch of virtual currency each piece, and you have to unlock them all twice for the male and female wrestler. Well, you can't even customize them. So hopefully they fix that this year. Otherwise, I don't even know what's the point of adding new creation parts. Now, I understand if it's Nike or Adidas or something, because, you know, those are officially branded things. But if it's like an original creation part that they made just for the game, why can't we change it? I feel like that's a fair argument. Anyway, number 5. The new reversal stamina system can't be changed or turned off in all modes. Now, in 2K25, you couldn't use the different playstyles in my faction, if I'm not mistaken. Again, I barely played that mode in 2K25 after doing everything in 2K22 and most things in 2K23 and finding out that none of your cards or none of your progress carries over to the next game, I want nothing to do with the mode. But if they allow me to use my created wrestlers this year in 2K26, I'll probably play the mode quite a bit because they added in created wrestler cards to the mode, but you can't put your created wrestler in the mode. So either they're going to make it to where you have to recreate your wrestler as a card in the mode, or you just import your character to the mode. I don't know how that's going to work, but that would be a really cool feature. And they haven't talked about My Faction, which is shocking because My Faction is one of their money makers. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that. But anyway, back to the reversal system. If you can't change it for modes like My Rise or the Island, well, I'm going to be forced to have to learn how to use it because I definitely want to play the game a lot this year because of the new creation features for the Create a Superstar. So I'll put up with it, but I already don't like the reversal system, and if they're adding more like roadblocks to making it more difficult and more annoying, I don't know, man. I don't know. That might really turn me off the game in general if you can't turn that stamina system for reversals completely off across all modes. Hopefully we can do that. Well, I guess we'll find out soon enough. Number 4. I'm a little worried that my favorite wrestler didn't make the game this year, mainly the fact because we're 21 days away from release, and the Ultimate Warrior has not been put on the list. I feel like that should be on there already. Macho Man Randy Savage, I have 2 favorite wrestlers. Those are my 2 favorites. He's in the game, and he's got different versions of him, so I'm glad he's in it. But what about the Ultimate Warrior? I'm pretty sure he's been in every single mainline game since 2K14. That would really suck if we finally get to next-gen only games or current-gen only games and they remove the Ultimate Warrior. That would really suck for me. I hope they didn't lock him out to the Ringside Pass, like the free tier or whatever, and you have to play through a bunch to unlock him, like, I don't know, what is it, Season 4 or something? That would suck if you don't have Ultimate Warrior right away, because he's always the one when I first get these games, ever since 2K14, the first thing I do is I go into a match as Ultimate Warrior, check out the new graphics, check out the new gameplay mechanics if they have any, and I just have fun playing as the Ultimate Warrior. That's my first thing I do in every single game when I get it, because I want to test it out. And as I pick the Ultimate Warrior, I beat up a random wrestler. Sometimes it's Macho Man, sometimes it's just some random person on the roster, and there you go. That's the first thing I do in every game. What do you guys do first in every single game? Sound off the comments below. Number 3. The Ringside Pass could be too much of a grind for people with, jobs, a life. Like, I know some of you guys that have part-time jobs or in-between jobs, or you guys are kids at home that just have to go to school and stuff that could play these games all freaking day long. That's going to suck for those of us that have to go to work every day, leave our house, and do stuff like that. Plus, if we want to play other games, like, I don't want this to just be the only game I can play all year if I want to keep up and unlock everything. Hopefully they found a good balance with the grind. But if they made it like ridiculous where you have to literally play like 100 matches a day to keep up, that's going to really kill the game for me this year, regardless of Creation Suite goodness or not. If they make that Battle Pass, Ringside Pass thing super grindy to try to make it last all the way up until, let's say, the next game, well, yeah, that's going to be a big red flag. And I have a feeling that that'll turn off pretty much the majority of your player base. They have to be really careful with how they set up the grind this year because it's their experimental year. Otherwise, they could lose a big chunk of their player base this year. So hopefully it's not too grindy. Number 2, body morphing is just a select from a list of options rather than full-on body morphing. Now, if you watched my last video, make sure you go check it out. I kind of went over this where the way they have it set up by each section: arms, legs, chest, stomach, head, neck, everything. Well, I don't know about head, but heck, neck is in there. Now, what I'm worried about is that you go into each one of those sections, and it literally just brings up 20, 30 different options, and you pick from those. It'll allow you to Frankenstein your character together, but what I was hoping for, and what Cornell Gunther, again, not trying to throw him under the bus, what it sounded like to me is that you'd be able to fully adjust the size with like sliders and stuff. That's what I was hoping for, because that would allow a lot more freedom and it'd be a lot more fun. But if that's what they had to do to get it to work this year, I'll take it. I'll take it over, not having anything. But that's one of my fears, is that it's just like you go into the arm section and there's 20 different arms to pick from, 20 different stomachs, and they literally just have the pool of what's already there. Just you can mix and match the whole thing, like I said, Frankenstein. So if that's how it's going to function this year, that'll be a bummer for me. But as I just said, better than nothing. Now, my number one biggest fear for 2K26, and this kind of happens with the early access launch every single year, regardless of what platform you play it on, is the day one crashes and glitches due to all the new enhancements to stuff like the Create a Wrestler, the new gameplay, all that kind of stuff. Honestly, I think what's happening and why we haven't seen all this information that we're about to go through that the community is concerned about is because I think they're still working on the game. I think they're working on the game all the way up until release, and then anything that gets missed, like bugs or anything, they fix within that first couple months. Like last year, one of the reasons why this is my number one worried thing is because last year, like, you couldn't apply face paint or layer face paint. Like, that whole option was missing. It was totally broken. And then they tried to patch it in and fix it, and it just broke it to where you couldn't remove anything from the face. So if you used images or logos or tattoos, it was completely broken for like the first 2 or 3 months. It took them forever to fix that. So I hope that's not the case with 2K26. I hope everything works like a charm. I hope there's not a ton of crashes. I mean, there's so many facets to these games. I'm shocked they work as well as they do. I think one of the reasons why they're blocking PC mods from leaking over to consoles is because any little tiny differential in the code could make it crash or ruin or delete your game. That's one of my biggest fears, and I think that's why that they're blocking PC. Obviously that, and of course they don't want PC modders to give away all the DLC for free like the Ringside Pass stuff. They probably just upload it all to community creations. But regardless, I'm just worried that those of us that spend $150 or $100 on the game day one to get that early access release, I'm just worried that with all these new features, we're going to have a ton of crashes or a few bugs here and there. Like, and then what if we lose our saves and we have to start all over? Like, how's that going to work? I know Mr. Dubs talked about that. Like, what if you play and you beat the first 2 battle passes, right? And they do a random update and it F's up your game and it causes you to lose your save and you don't have it backed up or whatever, for whatever reason, or it corrupts your backup. What do you do then? Is all our stuff still tracked online on our server, or do we have to start from scratch and re-unlock everything? Because what would really suck in previous games, let's say you do all the showcase, you do all of the My Rise, and you unlock literally everything, all of the My Faction. If your game crashed and you lost your save, you'd have to literally go through and do all of that stuff again. That's a huge turnoff with a yearly release game with so many unlockables, like 400 wrestlers, tons of creation parts, all this kind of stuff, arenas. Yeah, it kind of just really kills your hype or desire to play the game. So anyway, these are the 7 concerns that I have. Anyway, what do you make of all this? Sound off comments below. What are your biggest fears for 2K26? And as always, stay frosty.
Tossing them aside. Oh, that'll weaken your arm. And the Ultimate Warrior is really taking on a lot of damage at this point. Yeah, the Ultimate